So this year, let's celebrate Janmashtami by invoking these 5 qualities of Shri Krishna in us so that we live a Krishnamay life. Today is a big day, Shri Krishna Janmashtami, and we all are celebrating birthday of Shri Krishna, or rather I should say incarnation day of Shri Krishna. Well, all these amazing characters from our proud history, I would not call it a mythology. Mythology means which never existed, which is being created in your thoughts. It's a myth, but this is not a mythology. This is your history, आपका गौरवशाली इतिहास. So when we look at all these characters, whether it be Shri Krishna, Shri Ram, what we need to learn is some very simple things from their character. And what makes them great is all the adversities they have faced in their life. They were never golden spoon children who had a very cool kind of life. They had so many adversities in their life. Still, they managed to be a warrior. They managed to be a yogi. They managed to be the best. They take out best from the worst. And that is the biggest lessons from their life. Well, if we look at the character of Shri Krishna, there are ample things, plethora of things we can learn from that character, or rather, I should say, each and every act of there is a lesson for us. But then, if we discuss 5 such lessons from Krishna's character that can change your life and your perspective and your vision towards your life. Though I said there are plethora of things that we can learn, there are ample things we can learn, but still today we are going to discuss about 5 such things, because when we say it is Krishna ka janma, Krishna avtarit, incarnation of Krishna, so that simply means Krishna should incarnate within you. And that's the true love. When there are no two people, when it is about true love, you and me become one. You and Krishna become one. So let's straight away begin this episode of Friday Facts with Acharya Pratishthan Insight to Indian Culture, and let's understand 5 lessons from Shri Krishna's life. Very first lesson is, if we look at the entire life of Shri Krishna, he was born in a prison. The moment he was born, he lost his mother and father. He could not spend even few couple of minutes with mother, and he could not spend much time with father, and he was given to Yashoda, and she was the one who looked after him. Then after some time, he had to leave Yashoda, he had to leave Vrindavan, he had to leave his friends, so he had to leave everything in life. There were so many adversities, so many demons came to kill him, and throughout his life he had been fighting. Biggest example is, if such situation comes in anybody's life in today's context, you would fall into depression. You would say, oh, I'm having too much of depression, too much of anxiety, I'm feeling like giving up my life, and we have a tendency to give up. But the biggest lesson from Krishna's character is to never give up and to take out best out of worst. So my Dadaji used to say one thing, my grandfather, that दूध फटने से परेशान वो होता है जिसको पनीर बनाना नहीं आता. जिसको पनीर बनाना आता उसके लिए ये दुख की बात नहीं है कि दूध फट गया. Same way, we need to learn how to take out best from our adverse situation, our adversities. And that's the first lesson of Shri Krishna. Second lesson of Shri Krishna, do not live in your past and keep moving ahead, keep moving ahead, keep moving ahead. When I was, because you all know my education, my training is in these, theater, dance, music, classical dance, music, yoga, spirituality, Indian culture. And when I was a student, I learned one thing, that is, show must go on. It happened with me when my grandmother died at the age of 101, and I had an event to address, and my father, my guru, said, that's okay, do your karma, because that is important right now. And that's what we have learned, show must go on. Similarly, if we look at Krishna's character, he just kept on moving forward, moving ahead. He didn't live in past. I always say, if you live in past, it will generate stress in you. If you live in future, it will generate anxiety in you. So we need to learn how to live in present. And how do we live in present? We live in present by just going with the flow. What kind of life he had? He had to leave everything. He left his parents. He left his biological parents. Then he left those parents who did his upbringing and everything. Then he left Vrindavan. Then he left Radha. He left his flute. He left all his friends. He kept on leaving things and he kept on moving forward. And that's the biggest lesson. Do not look at past. We might have done so many mistakes in our past, but if we continuously keep on looking at past, we won't be able to move ahead. So what we need to learn is keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And that's the biggest lesson from Krishna's character. The third is he maintained the yoga of life. You would say yoga of life? Yes, yoga means balance. Yoga means to live life in totality. So he lived a very balanced life. Now, if you look at children now, somebody is in music, he's only in music. Somebody is in arts, only in art. Somebody is just studying, nothing else. But if you look at Krishna's character, best in everything. So it's not like, oh, you have your exams, you're not going to do any other thing. You leave your sports, you leave your art, you leave your music. This is what is happening in today's time, and that's why we are not looking at the overall growth of children. But if you look at the character of Krishna, what happened? Best musician ever. Nobody in the world can play a flute like Krishna. Best in every phase of life. No, if you look at the childhood, best childhood, what is the image? Krishna's childhood. Best lover, best husband, best son, best friend. You look at the incident of Sudama and Krishna. Best in art, best in fight, and the best politician, best diplomat. He did not pick up even one single weapon, though he had Sudarshan, but still he did not pick up one single weapon, and he made Pandavas win the entire Mahabharata. And the best guru who gave the knowledge of Gita to benefit humanity, to benefit mankind. So he is the best in every phase of life, and that is what we need to learn from him. Live a balanced life. Nritya, Sangeet, Yoga, Adhyatma, Gyan, everything perfect in him. Sola Kala Paripurn is Shri Krishna, and that is the biggest lesson we need to learn from him. Fourth is he loved everyone, but he never got attached to everything, and that is the biggest lesson of yoga. When we generally use this word, oh, I'm attached to this house, I'm attached to this cloth, oh, that's my child's first cloth, I need to keep it with me, I'm so attached to it. But have you ever thought what is the meaning of this word? If two children, let's say two twins are born and they're attached to each other, very first thing doctor is going to do is to separate them, because attachment is not good. So do not misunderstand love as attachment. Attachment means I'm attached to something so badly that I just cannot move ahead. Attachment, you want to take, you want to get, and in love, you want to give. So Shri Krishna is a character which is in love with everyone, which is in love with entire creation. He loves you, he loves me, he loves everything. But he was never attached to anything. That's the reason he left everything when it was required. He didn't wait for the whole life to reach that point. Now I am 80, I'm going to leave everything. He kept on leaving everything and he kept on moving ahead. He was not attached, but he loved everyone. When Sudama went to him, he gave. He just gave. He gave to Arjun. He gave to everyone. But he was never attached. So fourth lesson is love everything created by Paramatma, but never get attached to everything. And fifth and most important is we need to learn how to be a good friend, to manage every relationship. Rishton ko kaise nibhana hai, that we need to learn from Shri Krishna. So what can be a better example than the relationship between him and Sudama? We celebrate Friendship Day today. What kind of friendship? You just want to get things from your friends. But look at him. He just gave. Sudama went to him. Sudama's wife told so many things. Go to Shri Krishna and say all this. He couldn't say anything, and that's the real truth of life. We don't need to go to Krishna and tell him, oh, give me this, give me that. If you really love him, he knows. He knows it what you want, and he will give you much better than that. Sudama wanted to ask for some very tiny things, but see what he got, because he didn't ask for anything. This is Krishna's character. You look at every relationship. You look at Arjun and him, you look at Pandavas and Krishna, you look at Sudama and Krishna. He knew how to manage a relationship. He was always a giver in a relationship. तो रिश्तों को कैसे निभाना है, this we need to learn from the character of Krishna. So these are 5 very important things we need to learn from the character of Shri Krishna. Without getting attached, he managed to give, and to manage to maintain those relations. Now, to sum up this entire episode, I would just say Arjun just chose Krishna, and then Krishna chose everything for Arjun. Arjun did not take any, big decisions in life. He just took one decision in life, which was he chose Krishna. Arjun chose Krishna. Then Krishna made everything possible for Arjun. That's what we need to, do in our life. Choose wisely. And when you purely love him, when you surrender yourself to him, he is there to look after. Such is the relationship between Guru and Shishya, such is the relationship between Paramatma and Atma, such is your relationship with Paramatma. You just need to trust, you just need to leave to him, and he will look after everything. So this year, let's celebrate Janmashtami by invoking these 5 qualities of Shri Krishna in us, so that we live a Krishnamay life. Every Friday, we come up with an episode of Friday Facts with Acharya Pratishthan Insight to Indian Culture. If you have any question, any query related to Indian culture or Sanatan Dharma, you can send us your queries, and we will try to come up with a video, an episode next Friday. Thank you so much. Lots of love, light and blessings. इस वीडियो को हिंदी में देखने के लिए भारत योगा YouTube चैनल पर जाएं. You can connect to us through different social media platforms @Acharya Pratishtha ji Facebook, Instagram, App, ShareChat @Pratishtha Twitter. Lots of love, light and blessings. Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe Krishna. Bolo Baki Bihari Lal ki Jai.